Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing real well today. Liam Hartree here, and I just wanted to share a little something with you today that might help you in your daily lives to become a happier, healthier, and more fulfilled person. Now, as I always say, um, I'm not a perfect person. I don't have all the answers, but I have worked with some very successful people. And as I always say, by successful, I mean happy, healthy, and fulfilled individuals, not just about fame and money. And I've learned a few lessons in my own life as well that I think might help you to be a bit happier. And basically, I wanted to talk today about the principles of relationships. And when I say relationships, I don't just mean romantic relationships, but I also mean friendships, business partnerships, any type of thing that you have. Does come down to basic principles. Now, I want to be clear that I'm not preaching because different things do work for different people. Love even means different things to different people if we're looking at the romantic aspect. But there are still some basic principles. And these days, there's a lot of, I'm just going to say it, there's a lot of crap, there's a lot of bullshit out there on the internet about these types of topics. And people get very confused. I would say the younger they are, more so. And I come from the internet generation. Growing up, I was confused by some of this as well. But we can take relationships back to certain basic principles that always work, irregardless of what type of relationship we're talking about. And those topics are, first of all, trust. Okay, every relationship has to be built on some degree of trust. Every relationship has to have trust. And if it doesn't have trust, it's not really a relationship. And if you're with somebody and you don't trust them or they don't trust you, then at the end of the day, you're going to have to take some steps to either address that, fix that, or come out of the relationship. Because even if you're physically together, even if you're spending time together, if there's no trust, there is nothing else going on. And this is the same with everything. This is the same with friendships, business relationships or professional relationships, romantic relationships, even people within your own family. If the trust is not there, then that bond can't grow to the next level. It just can't, you know. And I appreciate that people who do these things, people do open relationships and all this stuff now on the internet. If that works for you, fine. Personally, I don't think that's a relationship, but you know, different people have different opinions, but trust is essential in whoever you deal with. And today, trust is harder than ever because of the internet, because people can't sneak around. Women do it just as much as men, but men do it a lot too. And you have to establish boundaries in that relationship for trust. So that is one very, very important topic. Okay. Another very important topic is communication, because obviously with communication, you know, communication has to be there. If you can't be yourself, be open with that person, actively listen to that person when they're talking to you, then you know, you don't have a relationship either. You know, you have to feel seen, you have to feel heard, you have to feel not judged, etc. So communication is another essential one. Okay. Obviously support. I mean, again, even with friendships, you know, if they don't support you, you know, if that friend isn't a close person where you're going through a hard time, they don't reach out, they don't check how you are. If you tell them something, you feel judged. Support comes in many forms, supporting you with your dreams, supporting you with your ambitions, supporting you with everything that you're aiming for. Support is another essential must have. If you don't have that, what do you have? Respect. Obviously, respect is another very, very important thing. Respecting, again, friendships, romantic relationships, business partnerships, respecting the other person's space, respecting the other person's money, respecting the other person's body, respecting the other person's boundaries. These are very, very important things. And again, we get a lot of negative role models today, particularly on the TV and everything, with people not respecting each other and women. Let's look at romantic relationships, women holding sex over men to try and get them to do what they want, and men cheating and screwing around and not respecting. So, you know, there's a lot of negative role models which are seen as okay, but respect for the other person's integrity, respect for them as a human being, respect for their good qualities, respect for spending time with them, even with their bad qualities. Again, this is essential, okay? Shared interests, again, you know, if you're in a professional relationship, if you're in a romantic relationship, a friendship, even with your family, there have to be crossed over shared interests. Otherwise, what are you going to spend your time doing together? And these are just a couple of very, very key essentials. They're not the be all and end all, but they are some very, very solid foundations that you can build a great relationship on, be that romantic, improving relationship with your family, business, friends, or something else altogether. And as I always say, it's not the whole answer, but it is a foundation that you can build upon. So I really hope that those few points help you clarify a couple of things. Be careful what you read on the internet, because there's a lot of rubbish out there, and just trust to the principles that have stood the test of time and have worked for people for hundreds or thousands of years before you, and they will for hundreds of thousands of years after you. Human relationships never change, no matter what era we are in. Principles never change, only the details. So thank you all for listening, and there'll be more videos coming soon.